Hey everybody, Coach Edwards here with LacrosseGoalieTips.com, and first video of the year. Looking forward to this one. A couple little housekeeping notes before we get started. One, my book is done. An Athlete's Guide to Winning in Sports and Life is done and is available at athletespecific.com/book. So check that out when you have a chance. And also, I want to let you know that I've got coaching spots open up for this year that close pretty quickly. So if you're interested in coaching for this season, if you want to get a little extra help, take your season to the next level, that would be awesome. I've only got a handful of spots left, so head on over to lacrossegoalietips.com/coaching and sign up today. Or if you got any questions, you can email me at coachedwards@lacrossegoalietips.com. All right, so today's video, I picked this one up. This was actually sent to me by one of our subscribers. This little clip at 6 minutes of the 2017 Project 9 edit video that's on Paul Rabel's channel. This is interesting. I'm just going to play it through once, and you'll probably notice right away what I'm going to talk about. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I'll explain it shortly. So here's the video, about 5 seconds. All right, so you probably saw what I saw, which is, the goalie moves too much. Like basically the hands drop, and then the goalie has to rebound basically back up to that off-stick high corner. Let's talk about this for a second. First and foremost, the stance on this goalie is pretty good. It looks pretty balanced to me. I'm surprised at the false movement here just by how the goalie's standing. Now, one thing that I don't particularly care for most goalies is a really vertical stick position. And so this goalie has one of those. One of the reasons why I don't like it is I think it's the cause of a lot of false movements with goalies. I don't think it's very natural. And the goalies that I think have the most ease of movement in the cage are ones that take a little bit more of a balanced stance, right? Now, I've talked about this for decades now. Lacrosse goalies were the only goalie in any sport trying to make a save with basically one thing, and that's our stick. But when a goalie stands with a very vertical stick position, the off-stick elbow comes really close. There's a big space now at the off-stick hip position. I just don't think it's very balanced. And if you look at a baseball catcher, if you look at a shortstop, if you look at a defensive lineman, an offensive lineman, you name it, basketball player, athletic stance, it has some rules to it. So I'd like to see a little bit more of a relaxed position, and then from that relaxed position comes an ease of movement to basically stop the ball. Now, the other thing I want to pick on here is that this is a very tall goalie. I mean, with a good knee bend, still covering a lot of the cage upstairs. But because of that, because he's got his top hand even with his eye, the top of his stick is covering the crossbar and actually a little bit above it. And we don't need that. When we're looking at stopping balls and we need milliseconds to move, every wasted space makes a difference. So in this case, the goalie's stick is a little bit too high. I'd like to see him drop that hand by about 2 inches or so. And then what you'll notice here, as the ball leaves the shooter's stick, the goalie makes a false step. So the goalie, in this case, starts to step to his stick side high, which is towards the far pipe, and it'll look something like this. Boom. Right, so you watch this, like the goalie's left leg, he's weighted on his left leg and he's picking up his right foot ready to step to the right, but the ball is coming to his left. So the goalie drops his hands, and those hands are really close to the body. Now, in an athletic stance, those hands are going to be further out away from the body. That top hand is really close to his face. So it's a little bit of a challenge to basically move the stick across the face if the top hand is too close to you. So you'll see this goalie, the ball's about halfway there now. I wish this defender had poked at the hands, not try to wave at the head of the stick, but I digress. Now the goalie drops, the ball is 2/3 of the way there. The goalie now has his top hand basically at his heart, like in his chest, and now he's got to explode back up to his left, even though he's stepping to his right. So big mess. He makes the save, though. And, a lot of people probably went, whoa, great save. But I'm seeing a huge mess of time here, right? This is, unfortunately, this goalie's wasting just a lot of energy. And so a couple things to remind you. One, we need to be balanced in the cage. I don't teach that you should be super still before the ball leaves a player's stick. I don't think that works anymore at the highest levels of lacrosse. We're talking like really high level high school and college ball. A goalie just doesn't have the time to be so patient that he or she doesn't move until the ball's released. Because a shooter makes all sorts of tells. And in this case, when a good rule of thumb is when the shooter if their shoulders are parallel to the ground, most likely that stick is coming through at the same height, at the same level, like shoulder and above. And, because this is a Paul Rabel camp, Paul Rabel and Mike Millen, I know Paul really likes to light it up upstairs. He's done it for years. Well, these kids are probably picking up on that. And but the majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, a player that starts with a high stick and the shoulders are parallel to the ground, that ball is coming through high, right? And a goalie needs to pick up on that. And because of that, you have an advantage, right? Right away, this ball's coming high, and then you're playing poker. You know that your percentage of winning is higher than that shooter's percentage of winning, all right? So in this case, a lot of false movement by the goalie. The goalie makes the save. So I think the goalie in this case can just be a little bit more understanding of where the shot is going to go so that he is in a better position to start with, and then is just more confident that, hey, this ball's coming high, right? And then move accordingly. Get the hands out away from the body just a little bit, nothing crazy. 20 years ago, we used to tell goalies, put your hands all the way out, like put your arms straight and then bring the stick halfway back. That's a great rule to start with if you've never really been taught that before. But we just want to have that top hand further away from the body, more athletic, so that top hand can move in front of the face if we're trying to make a save to off stick high. And there's a lot of balls going there nowadays. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you liked that video. Listen, just a reminder, head on over to athletespecific.com/book. Get a copy of the book today. And if you're interested in coaching for the season, send me an email, coachedwards@lacrossegoalietips.com, and I will see you next week. Cheers.